today with another video. In today's video, I am going to be checking out a brand that I've wanted to check out for a while now. I am playing around with Aether Beauty's Joshua Tree palette. I did swatch this palette for you guys in this video, so if you want to see these colors swatched, and if you want to see how I came up with this like grungy glittery look, then keep watching and you guys can hang out with me and I'll show you how I did it. Alright guys, so we are testing out Aether Beauty's Joshua Tree palette today. I saw this palette used, Jessica Hayes featured this palette on her channel. I've said this like so many times, but if you guys don't watch her, you definitely should. She has a cruelty-free vegan beauty channel. She features a lot of clean beauty over there as well. I'm pretty excited about this palette. I have never really gotten into clean beauty before. Of course, everything that I use on my channel is cruelty-free, but clean beauty is kind of like a whole other section of like the beauty communities. Anyways, this is the first piece of clean beauty that I've purchased. Aether Beauty, I know, has like a range of different palettes which all look nice, but this Joshua Tree one really caught my eye. I'll show you guys the inside of it. It looks like this. There's some nice neutrals, some warm shades, and then some blues. So I feel like this is pretty much like all of my favorite colors in one palette, so that was pretty exciting to me. And then also this palette is entirely recyclable, which I think is really cool. And there's also a neat little message from Aether Beauty right here where the mirror would go, just explaining that the palette is recyclable and that's why they didn't include a mirror in here, which is, I think it's really cool. I thought that it'd be nice to swatch this palette for you guys really quick, and then I want to do a little look using it. I mean, this will be a first impressions also because I've never used Aether Beauty before, so I'm not really sure if, you know, the colors are going to perform or how pigmented it's going to be. So anyways, let's just get started with swatching and we will kind of like dive into this together, I guess. So I guess I'll swatch this by sections, maybe the neutral shades and then the center bright shades and then these end kind of deeper shades. So this first shade is called Pixie Rock, and I love it when palettes include this shade. This is like a matte vanilla, and I love this type of shade because you can blend out other shades with it. I can put it down first all over my lid as a base, and these also make a really great eyebrow highlight as well, so I love that they included a shade like this. Also, all of the shades in this palette are completely matte. The next shade is called Poppy, and this looks like a beautiful warm mustard shade. This is one of the shades that definitely caught my eye in the palette. This next shade is called Tumbleweed, and this looks like a warm medium brown color, like a perfect shade for deepening your crease. The next shade is called Rosewood, and this looks like a deep maroon wine shade. These are the first four colors of the left side of the palette swatched, and honestly, I think that these four shades right here would just be great for an everyday neutral eye, like a super easy, quick eye to do. I really love these four. Also, I'm noticing that the shades so far are going on very, very pigmented, which is really nice. There's like, they don't look patchy. They're also really like finely milled, so I don't think that they'll be patchy when it goes on to my eyes. This next shade is called Citrine, and this is another shade that really caught my eye right away. This looks like a muted yellowy green shade. Next up is the shade Emberglow, and this is like a salmon orange color, maybe a little bit of a pumpkin. The next shade is called Prickly Pear, and this is a medium lavender. This next shade is called Wildflower, and this is another one that really caught my eye right away in the palette. This is a like kind of periwinkle colored blue. There is that middle section swatched. I am noticing that that bottom shade does look a little bit more purpley toned now that I have it on my skin. Then in the pan it kind of looks more like a bluish periwinkle, but I would actually call this more of like a purple periwinkle. So now with the right side of the palette, we have this shade right here called Joshua Tree, which is the namesake of the palette. This looks like a dark mossy green, not quite a forest green because it is a little bit muted, so maybe like a deep like olivey moss shade. This next shade is called Agave, and this is like a deep teal emerald. This next shade is called Mesquite, and this to me looks like the shade of barbecue sauce, so like a brownish deep maroon shade. And lastly, we have this shade called New Moon, and this looks just like a flat matte black. Okay, so there is the final right side of the palette swatched. I'm thinking I want to do just a pretty basic warm eye today. So I'm going to start off by using this poppy color, and I'm just going to begin contouring my eye with that, just sweeping it throughout my crease. I'm also going to take some of this and sweep this underneath my eye as well. I have a nice wash of that color all over my eye. I think I might do a halo eye today. I don't think I've done one of those in a while. Also, I really love this shade. I mean, just a like blown out wash of this all over your eye with some black eyeliner, you'd be like good to go. I really love this shade. Next up, I'm going to go in with this shade right here, Tumbleweed, and I'm just going to be deepening up my inner and outer crease, just adding a little bit more dimension to that, kind of going for that halo eye look. I want to go in with this Emberglow shade right here and just place that down onto my lid. And I'm going to go back in with that Tumbleweed color and just continue to darken the inner and outer crease. Next up, I'm going to darken the crease even more with this Rosewood shade, and I'm just going in with a pencil brush to just really like fine tune the very inner and outer corners. I'm just patting the color down first, and then I'm going to go back in and blend it out with my brush. Just want to get the color placed. Now I'm going in with my clean, fluffy brush and just blending out the edges of this a little bit. Next, I'm going to go into this Pixie Rock shade, and I'm just going to highlight my brow bone with this and then blend it out. And then I'm going to take my fluffy brush and just blend that shade down. I'm also going to take a little bit of that shade and blend it right here into my brow bone, just to diffuse the edges. I'm taking that color and just kind of going around all of my blending to just diffuse it a little bit more. It just kind of melds everything together. Next up, I'm going to quickly pop on some glitter glue in the center of my lids, and I am going to use this Urban Decay single shadow here in the color Stellar. And this is like a glittery color shifting shade. It's like gold and green, and I just think that this would be really pretty in the center of my lids. And I'm just going to pop this on with my finger. You guys can see this shade. It's so gorgeous. All right, and that is exactly the vibe that I was hoping for. I absolutely love this shade, and I should really remember to wear it more. It's so gorgeous. For liner today, I am going to be using my trusted Urban Decay 24/7 liner in the color 0, and I'm just gonna do a quick little wing on the outer half of my eye. Okay, so next up I'm going to pop on some mascara. I'm using Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara. For highlight today, I am going to be using Melt's Stargazer highlight. This is a really beautiful, just natural champagne colored highlight. It pretty much goes with any look, which is nice. It's such a glow, but it doesn't really add too much color. Okay, for lipstick today, I'm going to be using Melt's Ultra Matte Lipstick in the shade Tomboy, which is a quite unusual color. It's it kind of reminds me of the shade of Wet Cement. It's like a greenish, putty, grayish sort of shade. It's super unusual. There's the lipstick, and I think that that completes today's look. Final thoughts on this Aether Beauty palette. I absolutely love this color story. I think there's so many eye looks that you could create with this. The one thing I will say that I noticed about this palette is that this is a very like finely milled, soft, powdery formula. So it's not like a creamy eyeshadow, if that makes sense. You know how some eyeshadows kind of feel like they almost have like a wet feeling to them, they're like creamy. This, I noticed, because of its like very powdery finish, the pros of having a formula like that is you can get really nicely like blended out, blown out looks, and these colors blend very easily into each other. But the cons of having a formula like this is that things just blend out a little bit too easy, so the colors can look a little bit washed out, and if you are trying to do a very precise look, I wouldn't recommend using these shadows to do that. Overall though, I think this is a really beautiful palette. I love the message behind Aether Beauty. I think this is really nice. If you guys have any of their palettes, let me know what you think of them. Anyways, I hope that this video was helpful for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this quick little tutorial. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. You can also follow me over at Sarah Sgt. Pepper on Instagram if you would like to. I usually post daily over there. I hope everyone has a nice holiday season, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!